bouncing off the ball there, and that's what they have to do. That's the biggest concern. If you can allow Mowat, Legs are heading it
down the right hand side. Norton Cuffy wins a corner down the right hand side. It was Giles that put it behind. Coventry's second corner of the game at 0-0.
That's what Norton Cuffy and Jake Bidwell have not been allowed to do. That three at the back for Coventry has basically been a 5 because Middlesbrough have been so dominant. They've got to be braver on the ball so that likes of Norton Cuffy can be in advance, be expansive. Jake Bidwell can do the exact same at the other side, and that's what you get when they're direct.
Jake Bidwell will have the corner, left-footed in-swinger at the northeast corner of the stadium. Run being made to the near post by McNally, goes deep to the far post, and Kelly got up highest but couldn't direct the ball goalwards. He headed it a yard or two wide. It's a goal kick to Middlesbrough. 28 minutes gone, 0-0. Adrian's with us today. He'll be taking a trip up the M69 tomorrow because Monday night game night on TalkSport. What a game. Leicester against Liverpool means so much to Leicester. Forest got a point yesterday, so did Leeds, putting a bit of extra pressure on Dean Smith. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. from the King Power. Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy will be alongside Adrian. Remember, every Monday night Premier League game exclusive to TalkSport this season. Coventry win a throw 20 yards from the halfway line, and they need a spell of possession, if nothing else, Chris Llewellyn.
No, they do. Even there, when Zach Steffen is got a goal kick, they allow Middlesbrough to play out. They drop into possession.
Bidwell collects the ball just short of the halfway line. Well, his first touch didn't help him. He wanted to carry it forward, but his first touch actually made him check and stay inside his own half. He has it again, though. Inside left position, approaching the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Gyökeres comes out to join him. Looking to jockey Isaiah Jones and drop his shoulder, rocks it to the edge of the area. Kelly drives it, blocked up in the air by McNair. Kelly goes again for the second ball, half cleared. Hamer volleys it back into the box, but it screws wide for a goal kick. Didn't really get hold of it, Gustavo Hamer, and it ends up being a goal kick. But that's encouragement for the Sky Blue fans.
Much better Gyökeres here. The great way to pass into Kelly. He's taking the shot on it, it's heading goalwards as well. He's come off from goalwards as well. He's come off from McNair. It's Kelly that's went and kept it alive. Gustavo Hamer takes a shot on. I think Matty Gordon just tried to kind of just steer it goalwards, just couldn't make the connection. But you hear the reaction that got. They have to be better here. They can't allow Middlesbrough to come out from a goal kick the way they do. Everyone else dropped back, and that front three with Gustavo Hamer joining the likes of Gordon and Gyökeres, they're on their own. Middlesbrough play through that comfortably.
However, Lenihan was hurried into the forward pass that he overhit by some distance from Middlesbrough, and it bounced through to Ben Wilson. We've played half an hour in this playoff semi-final first leg at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Ian Danter and Chris Llewellyn with you on TalkSport. 0-0 between Coventry City and Middlesbrough. Remember, once all the weekend action's done, TalkSport breakfast tomorrow morning from 6. Laura and Ali, when you wake up, best way to start your week off, chatting about all the weekend's sporting action. Crossfield pass from Callum Doyle. What a ball, fully 60 yards onto the chest of Norton Cuffy, but he couldn't get past Ryan Giles, at least not initially, so he rolls the ball back to McNally on halfway.
It's much better from Coventry though. Eccles and Kelly are always showing, always wanting the ball. That has to be done, Middlesbrough will shuffle across. Norton Cuffy's going to be smeared on that opposite side. What's a ball from Callum Doyle there. He's hit it. It allows Giles to get in the face of Norton Cuffy. The first touch wasn't great, but the option's on. That's the way that they have to play.
McFadzean goes back to his keeper, and Ben Wilson, the Coventry goalkeeper, will give it to Callum Doyle, the Manchester City loanee, at the left-hand corner of his own penalty area. Back for Wilson once more. Has to take a touch. Archer was closing him down, but McNally made an offer for a pass out to the right-hand side. Rolls it up forward, looking for Hamer, but it's well intercepted for Middlesbrough by Hayden Hackney, and now Alex Mowat has it back for the visitors. Into the centre circle it goes, and Paddy McNair. Bit of space for Tommy Smith to his right to carry the ball forward for Middlesbrough. Into the feet of top scorer Tuba Akpom. Foot in from Gustavo Hamer though to win it back, and then they give it away. Coventry. Jones has it inside the area, right hand side, running out of room, goes near post, and it's touched behind by Ben Wilson for a Middlesbrough corner. 0-0, but Isaiah Jones carried the ball right into the 6-yard box before he finally decided to shoot from a tight angle.
Should have got the shot away there. Isaiah Jones took 2 extra touches, in my opinion. Look, Gustavo Hamer does ever so well, putting the pressure on Chubakpom, winning the ball. Callum Doyle gives the ball away. It's poor, but straight away Middlesbrough's trying to capitalise. Isaiah Jones driving in a goal from on the angle as well for Middlesbrough. Has to take the shot on. Don't pass up the opportunity there.
I was waiting for him to shoot, and he wasn't.
He
was right on top of Ben Wilson before he let the shot go. But it is a corner for Middlesbrough at the south stand end, and Ryan Giles preparing to take it. Left-footed in swinger into the near post, headed up and out by Josh Eccles, and it will only be a Middlesbrough throw this time on the right-hand side. 0-0 it stays, with 12 minutes to half-time here on Talk Sport. It's going to be Tommy Smith to take the throw. Not much of an option. Nobody's coming short to him for a moment, although Jones is now just trotting towards this near side. Still Smith has the ball in his hands, waiting to release it back into play. Goes down the right-hand side in the end for Riley McGree. McGree tried to tuck it back inside for Smith, who made a run, an underlapping run. And then there's a foul on Matty Godden, I think it is, and it's a free kick to Coventry City in their left-back position. Chris Llewellyn, it's 0-0.
Well, that's Matty Godden, the striker back in the left-back position. He's won the ball back, and the only option is Gyökeres. It was a terrible ball as well. A little bit fortunate, yes, a little push when the pass is made. They've got the free kick, but they need to have Gustavo Hamer's trying to stretch the pitch, give them an outlet. But the quality from back to front from Coventry today has been nowhere near as good as what it has been.
Norton Cuffy for Coventry treads on the ball as he tried to get down the right hand side. Good reaction to try and win the ball back from Cameron Archer, and then in slides Liam Kelly. No quarter being asked or given out there. Hamer wins it back. Great run for Coventry, up to the edge of the area, collides with McNair. Referee says no foul, and McGree tucks it back to Lenihan. Blood and thunder out there from both sides, really increasing in tempo and intensity. 0-0.
It's outstanding from both. The commitment, the desire, the passion shown. Gustavo Hamer there, physical with the challenge. The ball got away from a little bit. Paddy McNair goes, fair challenge. I would say it's end to end, but the energy, the intensity in play from both in possession and out of possession was outstanding. Listen to this, please.
Well, I think the sun's gone in. That might have something to do with it, because suddenly there's a bit more zip about some of the players. 10 to half time. You're listening to Talk Sport. The Women's FA Cup final coming later. 2:30 kick-off at Wembley. A sold-out Wembley, let me remind you. Chelsea against Manchester United. Sam Matterface will be hosting the Sunday session from there with Joe Shannon and Leanne Sanderson, your commentary team. And don't forget, tonight, 7 o'clock, Talk Sport 2, Bradford and Carlisle start their League 2 playoff semi-finals with the first leg at Valley Parade. That's live on Talk Sport 2. You can join Mark Wilson and Neil Redfern from 6:45. Middlesbrough in possession out on the left-hand side. Chris Llewellyn.
What I've seen from Gustavo Hamer there, I need more of that from him. If you've got Eccles, you've got Kelly protecting, you've got to go up and support that front two, because the quality that he's got, the desire, how direct and powerful he is when he's driving, it's got to be better.
Hamer looked early for Gyökeres, and Gyökeres didn't have the touch he wanted as he drifted out to this near touch line, and it ended up being a Middlesbrough throw. I'm not going to whip Hamer too badly for that pass. I think it's a good pass. It is a good pass.
You have to fire it through. You have to put something on it for it to get through that two of Middlesbrough. I've got to say, Gyökeres, it has to be better touch. I understand he's under the pressure from McNeil there, but just be strong.
McGree lofts it over the top down the left-hand side of the box. He was looking for the run of Cameron Archer, just overhit. Nice idea. Watched a bit of Riley McGree when he was on loan at my club at Birmingham, when he came over from the MLS side, Charlotte, and then he came permanent to Middlesbrough, and he was part of the Australian squad that we saw out in Qatar at the World Cup, and he can play in a number of different positions across that midfield area for his manager.
I think he's excellent. I think his work ethic defensively does a job. With the ball at his feet, he can see a pass. The timing of his runs into the box for me is the one. He's always arriving at the right time. That late third man run.
0-0. Coventry have the ball on halfway. 8 to the break. Now Jake Bidwell picks it up near side to us, right in front of our commentary position about 20 rows back here in the West Stand at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Callum Doyle, as Coventry work the ball back to the halfway line. McFadden gives the ball back to Doyle.
Yeah, I don't mind this, Ian. Don't mind just keeping possession of the ball, bouncing it into Kelly, bouncing it into Eccles. The back three getting possession. What I want from Bidwell, I want him to be a little bit more direct. He's chosen to come back a little bit more often than not.
Now Gustavo Hamer finds a bit of space just over halfway. Fires the ball left to right. Brooke Norton-Cuffy can keep it in play. The right wing back for the Sky Blues. Tucks it infield to Liam Kelly. Kelly finds Josh Eccles, who's got Norton-Cuffy with him out on that far touchline. Again, good 1-2 touch football from Coventry. McNally comes forward, laid off by Gyökeres to Hamer, 30 yards out. Couldn't make room for the shot. Lovely ball out to McNally, right wing. Drives the cross against the fullback Giles. Coventry have their third corner of the half, 0-0.
It's excellent. I've got to say, much better from Coventry. Good possession, good passage of play there. You know, the movement was there. Matty Godwin, I wouldn't say fortunate. He was stretching for it. Great little set to Gustavo Hamer. Out to the likes of Kofi. Ball coming in, but Middlesbrough doing the job, stopping that cross from coming in. But much better from Coventry, using the ball well there.
Bidwell again at the north stand end with a left-footed in-swinging corner for Coventry. High looping centre. McFadden goes up, but it's headed up in the air to the edge of the box. Akpom gets it further clear for Middlesbrough, but Hamer first on the scene for Coventry and tucks it back to his goalkeeper Wilson, midway point of his own half. First time pass for Eccles, who then looks for Hamer in space on this near side. He then drifts the ball up to the edge of the area, looking for Gyökeres. Good header down though by Giles for Middlesbrough. And now their top scorer Akpom, twisting around the halfway line, looks along the halfway line for McGree, but there was Callum Doyle winning it back. Now Norton-Cuffy for Coventry, driving forward to the midway point of the half, goes for goal, blocked away to the edge of the area. Gyökeres flicks it out left. Bidwell gives it back to the big Swede down the left hand side of the area. Gyökeres trying to drift in between two or three challenges. Bidwell got a shot away, and it was blocked by a forest of red Middlesbrough shirts. Eventually Middlesbrough win a free kick, and the Coventry fans, they're warming up in these warm temperatures. 0-0.
Look, it is a free kick. There is contact there, but Chuba Akpom, he controlled that with his throat. He talk to me about the control. He knew exactly what he wanted to do there. He got the ball down, he invited the challenge, and it's excellent striker play. And that's what I'm trying to say. The ball was terrible coming to him as well, but he had to deal with it, and he did.
Great use of the Adam's apple by Chuba Akpom. And it's 0-0 on TalkSport. I do hope wherever you're listening to TalkSport, this atmosphere is coming across to you here, because it is tumultuous, and you wouldn't normally, with great respect to Coventry fans, associate this stadium with the sort of racket that we're sitting in amongst, but it's brilliant. And it's a very tense occasion to match. Middlesbrough in possession with Alex Mowat. Up to Akpom, just over the halfway line. Great ball! Isaiah Jones is offside though. Tucks it into the back of the net. Borough fans go balmy for a moment, but the flag was long ticks up against Isaiah Jones, who made a brilliant run, underlapping run, inside right channel, found by Akpom, but the offside flag denies him.
It was tight. I thought Isaiah Jones, he's looking across the line, he's going, you know how fast he is. No, he doesn't have to go early. I'm waiting for it to come up on the monitor here for us, Ian, because the weight of pass was excellent. He's put it into the back of the net. But like you say, you can't allow Akpom that space in the middle of the pitch, because like you say, he can play the pass as well.
Remember, we are in a VAR free zone here, not at least until the final. All three finals on TalkSport at Wembley will have VAR. Now, that cheer is for Ryan Giles, back heading the ball out of play for a Coventry corner at the north stand end, under no real pressure. 0-0.
Well, like you say, they're asking the question, the ball's coming in. Ryan Giles, he's got to have communication with, I'm looking on the monitor there, I've got to say Isaiah Jones is offside. You know, he's went too early, doesn't have to. But Ryan Giles, you know, I think there he has to defend better. He has to know what's around him.
It's going to be a right-footed out-swinging corner from Gustavo Hamer this time. into the near post, hits the first defender McGree and is cleared away. Kelly retrieves it for Coventry, knocks it back to halfway for Eccles. Eccles floats a lovely pass out to the left hand side. Bidwell onside, lofts it into the area, not enough power on the cross, and well cleared by McNair for a Coventry throw, 0-0.
Well, the position for Bidwell is excellent. They're now more advanced. The first touch wasn't great. You want to kill it dead across the ground so he can make his choice. Because it is bouncing, he's just trying to kind of feel it in with the instep with the foot. The connection wasn't great, but it's got to beat the first man there.
Now Gustavo Hamer making a nuisance of himself. Too much for the referee's liking as he barged into Darragh Lenihan for an aerial ball that was sent downfield. 2.5 minutes plus added time to half time here on Talk Sport, and it's a Middlesbrough free kick at the edge of their own penalty area. 0-0 the score, and Tommy Smith is just on his haunches for a moment. I think he got accidentally caught in the face there, but he doesn't need any treatment. And eventually play will restart, and Gustavo Hamer's just having a quiet word with the referee, Bobby Madley, and we can finally get back underway with this Middlesbrough free kick.
Well, you can understand, I think Gustavo Hamer, he's having that word for the fact that I think the physicality of Lenihan and McNair all over him, but he has to be doing better than what he has done. You know, his touch has got to be better when the service is coming up to him, albeit he is feeding off scraps.
Get on with it, says the mass ranks of the Coventry City support. Zach Steffen taking his time. We had a great piece on Game Day yesterday prior to the Leeds-Newcastle game about time wasting in the game of football and the art of housery. Zach Steffen certainly killed a few seconds there for Middlesbrough. Throw in on this near side for the visitors, and Tommy Smith gives it back to McNair.
And funnily enough, it's when Coventry are on top in the game, and that's the responsibility of the goalkeeper, Ian, in this day and age. If they're on top, it's about getting the ball back in play as quickly as they can. If they're weathering the storm and having to kind of manage it, then it's about slowing it down. And you know, it's for the referee, the officials, they have to just come out and bring the yellow card out for these exact moments, and it'll get rid of it in the game.
Well, would you have a stop-start clock like they've been advocating? A clock that stops and starts depending on whistles?
Oh yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but the first half would last 90 minutes. Ball cleared forward downfield by Ben Wilson for Coventry, way over the head of Matt Godden, who's had so little of the ball, the Coventry striker, in this first half. Now Riley McGree darting down the left hand side toward the end of the first half for Middlesbrough. He's got help in the shape of Hayden Hackney. Now Giles tucks it back to Darragh Lenihan just ahead of the centre circle. Tommy Smith to his right. Isaiah Jones has peeled out to the near side, the right wing, but it's with Mowat, who comes in field for Middlesbrough to the middle of the half. McGree again gives the ball out to the left hand side, and Giles. Hackney now hits a diagonal ball looking for Isaiah Jones, but Bidwell should win that header and does, but only at the expense of a Middlesbrough throw. And we're into 1 minute of minimum added time at the end of this first half. 0-0. Mowat picks up the ball for Middlesbrough, centre of the Coventry City half. To his left is Hackney, who has the ball now. Now McGree to the left-hand corner of the penalty area, faced up by Norton Cuffy. Gives the ball back out left to Giles. McGree again took the ball back in field. It was almost taken on by Giles, but Coventry send it long downfield, and Gyökeres, trying to make a nuisance of himself, at least wins a throw off Darragh Lenihan to relieve the pressure a little for the home side. 0-0.
Well, that's all he can do. You know, it's not a great ball from back to front from Coventry, you know, but I've got to say Gyökeres there made himself strong, never allowed Lenihan to go up and win the ball comfortably, and he's got Coventry up the pitch with a throw in just inside the attacking half.
Brooke Norton-Cuffy will take the throw for Coventry City. The ball back to him from Gustavo Hamer is straight back out, and the players are going straight off the field because Bobby Madley says that's enough. And we reach half-time in this semi-final first leg with no goals and only one save, but what a save it was from Ben Wilson to deny Chuba Akpom when played inside the area. Wilson came out to narrow the angle. He got something on it, a hip or a leg, and it deflected up onto the crossbar and stayed out. Coventry have forced a few corners. There was one that flashed across the facing goal that Cameron Archer did well to get a touch on, but generally speaking it's been all tempo but not many clear-cut chances. Middlesbrough though dominated possession for certainly the opening half an hour. More encouragement for Coventry in the last 15 of the half. At the break it is Coventry City 0, Middlesbrough 0.
Cheers, Ian. Second half coming up on TalkSport. Of course, players have made their way down the tunnel into the dressing room, and just before kick-off, over in the far right-hand corner, Coventry fans were throwing around an inflatable human. I think that's the best I can describe. An inflatable human being. Well, that soon disappeared because the action on the pitch, that grasped everybody's attention. It's been frantic at times. The noise has been amazing. And alongside me, Chris Owellamo, you've been jumping about like a madman as well. What a first half we've had.
No, it's been excellent. It's been excellent. I've got to say, Coventry have grew into the game. Very, very surprised that as soon as Middlesbrough had the kick-off, they went back to the defensive three, and Matty Gordon and Gorkarez are sitting on the halfway line saying, come on then, come and break us down. Very surprised at that. I understand it might be the game plan, but go, be aggressive. Plus 5-10 minutes. Don't let Middlesbrough earn the right to have a foothold in the game and dominate. So I'm surprised that was the set-up from Mark Robbins. I think that he got that one a little bit incorrect, because basically the likes of Bidwell and Norton Cuffy went into a 5. Middlesbrough were enjoying the game. Alex Mowat on the ball, comfortable. Hayden Hackney. They can't allow a good possession-based team to have the ball without any to earn the right to do so. And to be fair, they grew into it. I thought I guess the balls that Matty Gordon and Gorkarez were having to feed off throughout that half weren't good enough, but it improved. Like Hamer and Kelly and Eccles, they grew into the match and finished the stronger. So I'm expecting very much the same from them in the second half. Well,
eventually Coventry were competitive, you're right, and maybe that cautious start was the Peterborough effect, where you don't want to get hammered in the first leg, but I think it's Boro who've had the better chances. Akpom through after great play from McGree. Wilson save onto the bar. Isaiah Jones striding forward. He's honing in on goal from the right back position, and he really has to fire a shot away, doesn't he?
Well, I think that's the conversations that they're having in the Middlesbrough dressing room at the minute. Get the shot away. It's the goals there, the quality that you've got. You don't have to drive in. He's looking for Cameron Archer. I understand being selfless in that position. Be selfish. Get the shot away. Be the man. Be the man that puts the ball in the back of the net and take that lead into the second half. I think Chuba Akpom, the confidence, the goals that he's delivering, the first touch was excellent, the movement was brilliant, he done everything right. He just tried to lift it over Wilson. What a save, by the way. What a save. A little bit fortunate, he's come out, done his job. That little contact takes it onto the crossbar, but yeah, that's his job. That's his job. He's kept Coventry in the game, and they've grew into the match. So again, it's about now, I think they've learnt the lesson. They cannot allow this team to have possession of the ball. Go after it, be aggressive on the front foot. But you can see the likes of Eccles, Kelly, Hamer, they're breathing hard. They're breathing hard.
The midfield, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the game without the ball
already, and the sun's gone in as well.
It's gone in, and that's why they've kind of came into it a little bit more. But without the ball, it takes so much more out the body, Adrian.
Right, so I mean, I kind of understand that cautious approach, but I think that Coventry have got to bear in mind, we talked about Middlesbrough's away record not being great. Coventry have got to go to the Riverside with something, ideally 3 points and a decent deficit as well.
I think they have to go there with a lead to protect.
Yeah.
I think that's the players will know that'll be the instruction. It's about going out and winning here, using this home advantage. I understand that they're excellent at counter-attack, but like you say, front foot aggression, go and presses together. The back threes, more often back five, too deep in my opinion. Matty Gordon and Gorkarez in the middle of their own half. That's how dominant Middlesbrough were. But then all of a sudden, when that defensive line of Coventry step up, they're in the match. The likes of Eccles and Kelly, they're getting on the ball. Bidwell and Norton Cuffy, for me, they have to be advanced, they have to be Cuffy, but they have to have the ball. They have to be direct. When too many times they've came back, get at your player. Well, be aggressive, be direct.
Well, there's another thing I've noticed as well. When Gyökeres has got the ball, there's no space for him whatsoever. He's surrounded by Middlesbrough players, so therefore, if those wide Coventry players stretch that defence, there will be space in the middle.
Spot on, exactly. And that's the likes of Matty Gordon's got to read that. But Gyökeres, more often than not, that ball's got to stick. That distribution's got to be better. The touches let him down too many times in that first half. So I know he's getting overcrowded. But like you say, if he sticks, one touch, two touch football, gets it out wide, move again. That's exactly, he gets Coventry up the pitch, and he's creating space for other players as well.
Do you ever run out of energy? Are you ever breathing hard like the midfielders for Coventry?
I'm only saying, when Ian's saying that the clock should stop every time it goes out. I'm only saying that because I've been retired 9 years. If I was playing it here, I'm asking for it here. I'm happy with the way it is.
It was a brilliant piece on game day yesterday. Just very quickly on that though, I don't think there's anything wrong with him taking his time over a goal kick. What I do have a problem with is Robles, facing the penalty from Callum Wilson and doing all sorts of nonsense. He should have got a second yellow card. That's gamesmanship that shouldn't be allowed in football.
Yeah, I think that the officials have a massive part to play. I think if we are talking about goalkeepers slowing things down, there have to be time limits on these things. If they break those time limits, the yellow card has to come out. We want consistency. We want the game to flow. And like you say, Zach Steffen there, Coventry are on top. I understand why he's slowing it down.
If it's a playoff semi or a playoff final, do you really want to keep a sent off for that?
I saw something disgraceful.
Yeah, but if that's been the precedent set from the first game of the season, then they don't do it in the playoffs, Adrian.
Maybe over the season, yeah.
I saw Hayden Roberts, the Derby defender, throw a water bottle as Michael Smith was preparing to take a penalty at Hills. That's disgraceful, and he got rightly booked for that. And I don't know what was going through his head that he thought that was even a good idea. It's a cheap yellow card to give away. Ridiculous. I hope that sort of nonsense stops, because we could well do without that.
It's been a brilliant first half, but there are no goals. Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. The National League South playoff final is ongoing at the moment. They're just 25 or so minutes in. It's Oxford City 2, St Albans City 0. Reece Fleet with the first on 4 minutes, then Zach McEachran with a tap in after the Saints keeper Dylan Berry on loan from Norwich got caught on the ball. That was on 14, so Oxford City 2-0 up, and winner of course gets promoted to the National League. But here we're on a playoff semi-final, first leg, brilliant atmosphere at the CBS Arena, and they're still waiting for goals. It's Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. They're having a shoot from the halfway line competition. A fan has just tried to shoot. He's fallen flat on his backside. That was the laughter you just heard, and well worth it. I hope he's okay. This is TalkSport.
EFL Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. EFL Live on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Like to save on Aldi's fresh fruit and veg? Piccolo tomatoes now just $1.29. Asparagus tips now just 99p. Midi bananas, garlic and chestnut mushrooms now just 69p each. And mango now just 59p. Aldi, officially which cheapest supermarket of the year. Products may vary by region, subject to availability.
BetUK are going big for the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, PGA, Live, Snooker, Tennis and even cricket.
How big?
Akinfenwa were big. Bet £10 and get £30 in free bets when you sign up to BetUK.
That's big!
Download the BetUK app or visit betuk.com now to get your £30 in free bets. BetUK, where the UK bets.
New customers only. Opt in and a minimum £10 stake required. Selected odds and bets. Exclusions and conditions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Looking to sell your car? Want the best price for it? At Arnold Clark, we buy any make, any model, any price, with no hidden fees. We even settle any outstanding finance. Value your car, book an appointment, and see our best price guarantee at arnoldclark.com. Sell your car to Arnold Clark and get the best price guaranteed.
The Brewdog Gold Can is back. Find one and win $5,000 cash. And this time we're staying on the right side of advertising standards and all those angry people online. Find a gold-plated can that's gold-plated, not solid gold, specifically in the multi-packs that are part of this promotion, and you'll win £5,000 cash. It's not a literal bag of change, but it's £5,000 and it will be yours, as will the can. That I repeat is not solid gold, but gold-plated. I think underneath it's brass or something, but don't quote me on that. Find the gold can, gold-plated, sorry. Find one of those and win $5,000, okay? Terms and conditions apply.
Jim White and Simon Jordan on TalkSport. Mid-morning radio that's up for the job.
I'm hot under the collar with this.
Concrete sports talk.
Edge that one a stone.
Rapid setting opinion.
Why can't the FA step in? Because the FA can't find their backsides with both hands in a funnel.
Big names all backed up.
David Moyes, John Hart's, Ian Rush.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Delivered tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport by Selco Builders Warehouse. Check out this month's real deals at selcobw.com. From the centre of the football universe.
What a hit!
The EFL Playoffs, live on TalkSport.
Still half-time here at the CBS Arena. Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0 in the playoffs. Second half commentary coming up live and exclusive and only on TalkSport. And when we're done at 2 Sunday session with Sam Matchface at Wembley for the Women's FA Cup final. There are 2 o'clock Premier League kickoffs as well. Let's head to those games. Let's get to Everton against Manchester City. Big one in the title race for Matt Jones.
It certainly is, Adrian. A huge game for both ends of the table, really, with Manchester City obviously chasing that title. But Everton know that 3 points, if they could pick it up today, might be enough to win them and keep them up in terms of relegation. That battle getting a little bit simpler after the defeat for Southampton that saw them relegated yesterday. We'll, of course, have team news from that one in a couple of minutes' time. When that comes out at 1 o'clock, I'll have Mickey Gray alongside me for update as well. And it's going to be a fascinating encounter. Kick-off between Everton and Manchester City at 2 o'clock.
And Brentford West Ham as well kicks off at 2. And Sam will keep you in touch with all of that over on TalkSport 2. It's live rugby union. It's Gallagher Premiership semi-final weekend. Saracens through yesterday. It's Sale against Leicester coming up this afternoon. Live commentary on TalkSport 2 with Andrew McKenna this afternoon. Let me tell you about the football that's coming up this week. Monday, tomorrow, it is game night from 6 p.m. on TalkSport. We will look back on the Premier League weekend and we'll look forward to Leicester against Liverpool, affecting both ends of the table. Liverpool now 4 points adrift of the top 4 places after Manchester United's win and Newcastle's draw yesterday. All have played 35 games. So Leicester-Liverpool live on TalkSport tomorrow night. Game night. Tuesday, Luton take on Sunderland in the second leg of the other Championship playoff semi-final. Sunderland 2-1 up. Cracking goals from Sunderland. Amad Diallo's goal yesterday, absolutely magnificent. That's live and exclusive on TalkSport. I'll be at Kenilworth Road for that one. Inter Milan against AC Milan, Champions League semi-final second leg, into 2 up. Coming into, in inverted commas, the home leg. That's live on TalkSport 2. And on Wednesday, Man City, Real Madrid, 1 apiece from that brilliant first leg in the Bernabeu. Champions League semi-final second leg. I'll be at the Etihad for that. TalkSport from 7. Middlesbrough, Coventry, the second leg of this one is on Wednesday night on TalkSport 2. Live and exclusive, the second leg, an 8 o'clock kickoff. Let's get to Brentford, shall we? Brentford taking on West Ham United, a 2 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League. Ian Abrahams.
Yeah, Brentford surprisingly only make 3 changes, but one of them is enforced. Ivan Toney is out injured. He's got a hamstring injury, so he misses out. Sade, Visser and Damsgaard come in at their 3 changes. West Ham make 9 changes from the other night, Adrian. Quicker to tell you that Aguirre and Souček are the only 2 that start again.
Let's go back to Goodison, shall we? Everton, Man City. I think we've got the teams now, Matt Jones.
We certainly have, Adrian, and 1 change made by Everton from their 5-1 demolition of Brighton. Mykolenko dropping out due to injury, replaced by Mason Holgate. So it's Pickford in goal for the Blues. Holgate, Mina, Tarkowski and Patterson across the back, with Garner and Gay in midfield alongside Iwobi, Doucouré and McNeil, and then Calvert-Lewin up top. For Manchester City, they've got that big game against Real Madrid coming up in their Champions League semi-final this week, so they make 4 changes. John Stones, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva dropping out. That means it's Ederson in goal. It looks like it could be a back 4 of Walker, Laporte, Diaz and Akanji, Foden, Rodri, Gundogan and Mahrez in midfield, and then Haaland and Alvarez up top. Kick-off here between Everton and Man City at 2.
Interesting team news for Man City ahead of that second leg in the Champions League semi-final at home to Real Madrid on Wednesday. Sam Matchface, as I say, will keep you in touch with those Premier League games during Sunday session, which gets underway in around about an hour's time, 2 p.m. live from Wembley Stadium. By the way, if in commentary Ian Danter tells you that Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, has got the ball and you hear what you think is booing, it's not. It's the Coventry fans urging him to shoot because he got a late equaliser at Blackburn just a few weeks ago, actually. And that point earned by his goal, which I think was handball, by the way, that point...
It was handball.
It was... that made a difference, didn't it? Because Blackburn lost 2 points because of it. Coventry gained a point because of it. And had Blackburn won the game, as it turned out, I know these things are all in theory, Blackburn would have made the top 6 and Coventry wouldn't. So they're only here because of a handball goal. You're saying what a great job Mark Robbins has done. You want keeper's book for time wasted?
Yeah, I know. I've got it all wrong. All backside about face. But there we go.
He literally shoveled it into the back of the net with his hands. I mean, it was an Alamo all or nothing. Let's get forward. I can't see that happening here this afternoon, Chris Wellamo. I think that, say, Middlesbrough, for example, will be okay with a 0-0 as they come out for the second half. Coventry, though, they're not going to throw their keeper forward, but they need to go for it.
No, they're not. No, I think you've got to remember when this game got to it's only half time, so there's still a lot of football still to be played, no matter what the scoreline is. I think something like that would only happen if it was a ridiculous scoreline, like a 4-0 or something like that at the end of the game. But even then, you just want to concede another goal. Coventry for me have to just be more aggressive, more in the front foot. How they finished that first half, that's what Matt Robinson said, that's how you got to play. It's taken them a little bit of time to get themselves into the match because Middlesbrough were so good in possession of the ball, but they allowed them and gave up that right.
Half an hour gone in the National League South playoff final. Oxford City 3, St Albans City 0. Just up the road, Brackley take on Kidderminster in the Northern playoff final. I'll be hoping to head to that when this is done. We'll find out in 45 minutes what score they will take to the Riverside for the second leg, live and exclusive on the TalkSport network. But second half about to get underway here at the CBS Arena. It's Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0, live and exclusive on TalkSport with Chris Owellamo and Ian Danter.
Thanks, Adrian. Ready for the off, and Coventry will get us restarted in their all sky blue, kicking towards the south stand end to our right as we sit about 20 rows back in the west stand here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Middlesbrough in their all red with the white stripe horizontally across the chest. I'll run you through the lineups just quickly. Wilson in goal for Cov, McNally, McFadzean and Doyle, Norton, Cuffy, Hamer, Kelly, Eccles and Bidwell in midfield, Godden and Gyökeres up top. And for Middlesbrough, Stephen the keeper, Smith, McNair, Lenihan, Giles, Hackney and Mowat, Jones, Akpom, McGree and Archer in their starting 11. Tommy Smith has an early touch for Middlesbrough, who've never won in 6 visits to this particular stadium, although they did win when Coventry were playing their home games at St Andrews. That was March 2021, a 2-1 victory for Borough that day. Here they have Brian Giles in possession, left-hand side, level with the edge of the Coventry penalty area, looking to repeat the pattern of the opening stages of the first half where they dominated possession. McGree, lovely ball into the box, head away from Akpom, just got in front of his man but couldn't plant the header on target. Lovely ball tossed into the area by Riley McGree, and Akpom made the run perfectly, just couldn't apply the finish. Goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, it was excellent movement from Middlesbrough there. Riley McGree, you know what, you can't give him the time and space, got his head up, great little ball in. I've got to say, Callum Doyle caught on his heels there, Akpom got across the front of him, timed the run perfectly. It's just I would say the connection was good, it was just the direction, you know, that's on target, that's in the back of the net. Ben Wilson has no answer there. Just with the form that he's in, I'm surprised that's not in the back of the net. He's done everything right, bar hit the target.
28 goals, let's not forget that Chuba Akpom has to his name in the Championship. Now Middlesbrough have literally stopped playing, they've just got the ball with Tommy Smith and he's just casually standing on the ball inside his own half, waiting for a Coventry player to close down the angle. Now McNair hits it diagonally long right to left, Giles touches it inside for Chuba Akpom, 30 yards out from goal for Middlesbrough. Oh, gets away from Liam Kelly into the area, great run from Chuba Akpom, but he runs into too many players in the end. In doing so, however, he wins Middlesbrough an early corner in this second half at the North Stand end, 0-0.
Well, again, it's quality. Middlesbrough just shown there that they can go direct when they want. Big switch of play to Giles, excellent one-touch passing to Chuba Akpom, time and time again, 2-3 players in front of him there. He just moves the ball over those first couple of yards so quick, got himself way, driving it at 3-4 defenders in the Coventry 18-yard box there, and wins a corner. He is a threat in behind, he does it all very, very well.
Corner coming in from this near side, the left, good delivery as well by Paddy McNair, but nobody could get a touch. It drifts out to the left hand side and Coventry try and get their number 17 involved, Gyökeres, but he's ended up giving away a throw in on the far side. It's just not happening for Victor Gyökeres so far today. 0-0 the score. Akpom receives the ball just over the halfway line for Middlesbrough, teases it out to Giles, the left back. Akpom again, faced up by Liam Kelly, dropped his shoulder and got away from him a moment ago, but that's a poor pass from Akpom, overhit behind Alex Mowat, and has to play on the far side for a Coventry City throw, 0-0.
Yeah, surprised Akpom enjoying the game, seeing a lot of touches coming back, being very direct, having success with it as well. A comfortable, easy pass to Alex Mowat, put too much on it, just got to fire that, keep it on the floor, doesn't have to lift it at all the way that he did there.
That's the voice of the Duracell bunny, Chris Iwelumo, alongside me, Ian Danter here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. He gets excited for normal league games, and then along come the playoffs. And Chris hits another level. Middlesbrough trying to hit the levels to get them in front and take a lead to the Riverside on Wednesday. Good skill from Cameron Archer on this near touchline. Gets over the halfway line, and Hayden Hackney lofts the ball up, looking for Akpom. Isaiah Jones, forgive me, but it was comfortably dealt with by McFadzean, and away comes Bidwell for Coventry City. Over the halfway line, down the far left-hand side, just stops his run and gives the ball back in field to Gustavo Hamer. Hamer, who scored at the Riverside 6 days ago in that 1-1 draw between these two sides.
That's important there, that ball in behind. It should be overhit for Isaiah Jones to get in behind, but McFadzean there done everything right in my opinion.
Kelly lofts the ball into the box for Coventry. Gyökeres at the far post, can't get away from Smith. Volleyed across the face of goal by Bidwell and put behind for a Coventry corner now at the South Stand end. 0-0 it remains on Talk Sport with 5 minutes gone in the second half.
Well, the cross came in from deep there from Coventry and I think caused all sorts of problems. Gyökeres at the back, post area, he just kept it alive, defended well after, say, Tommy Smith. Bidwell done everything right, just put it back into the danger area and it had to be defended.
Hamer with the corner, right-footed, whips into the near post, headed almost off the line by Alex Mowat, out to the middle of the half where Coventry retrieve it. Josh Eccles brought down by Isaiah Jones, but play on, says the ref. Kelly with a cross into the box, just drifts away to the far side, but it's picked up by Callum Doyle. Hamer again, left-hand corner of the penalty area, whips the right-footed ball to the far post. Eccles tried to get there, but Jones stepped in front and headed it behind, and it's another corner kick to Coventry City at 0-0.
Now much better, keeping the pressure on, committing players forward as well, and it's good quality coming in from both flanks there. I've got to say the referee for me got it spot on there, allowing play on, you know, and they're just keeping it alive. They're winning those first contacts, second phase, they're making sure it's a confident shot that's going and keeping possession of the ball. Good quality coming in from both flanks here.
Jake Bidwell spots the ball down in that corner in front of the travelling Middlesbrough fans to our right at the South Stand end. The left-footed in-swinging corner to come from Jake Bidwell, but not before Bobby Madley spotted a bit of pushing and shoving in the 6-yard box that he wants to clear up. I think Alex Mowat and Victor Gyökeres at the centre of that. Zach Steffen, both arms aloft, trying to make some space for himself, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. Bidwell delivers the corner deep to the far post. McFadzean heads it down. Where's it going to drop? It drops wide in the end. He was trying to tee it up for Gyökeres, left-hand side of the 6-yard box, just wouldn't fall for the Swede, and Middlesbrough have a goal kick. It's 0-0.
That's a massive opportunity as well. Great corner coming in, kept alive. Fancying and Gyökeres, there's got to be an understanding. Whoever's facing the goal surely got to be the one that coming on to make the contact. They can't, I think, trying to hold the defender off for Gyökeres to come. So go and take the opportunity on.
I can tell you that when Chris describes holding the defender off, he holds me off. He puts his arm across me, and I ain't moving. When Chris Iwelumo puts his arm across you, I'm not shifting. You've got a slight size advantage over me. Here's Riley McGree for Middlesbrough at 0-0. Good run to the left-hand side of the area, tries to whip it across, and it's deflected behind by Luke McNally, and now it's a corner to Middlesbrough at the other end of the field, the North Stand end, 0-0.
That's end-to-end, isn't it? It's exactly this, like you say, the energy, the effort that both sets of players are putting in, and the quality as well. Riley McGree under possession, under pressure as well, driving forward. He's getting his head up. There's no movement from Archer and Akpom in the middle. You can see after he's just tried to put the cross into a dangerous area, and it was cut out definitely very well by McNally there. But straight away you see McGree's reaction. He wants more from the front two.
McNair's corner for Middlesbrough into the near post, looking for McGree, and stepping in front of him was McNally, putting behind for another corner in quick succession on this near side.
Well, if McNally doesn't get a contact there, Ben Wilson's getting called into action, because that corner's coming straight in on goal as well.
Oh, it's the playoffs. It's fantastic. It's just gut wrench. The playoffs is gut wrench. That's basically what it is, and that's for the neutrals. Never mind the Coventry and Middlesbrough fans that are inside this stadium. As Middlesbrough prepare this latest corner. McNair deep to the far post with a delivery, headed out by McFadzean, headed back into the area by Giles, and it just couldn't break for Archer, and now a long ball downfield trying to get Gyökeres away, but that's well defended by Tommy Smith, who then holds on to the ball. Gyökeres takes the free kick quickly. Eccles can't get in behind Ryan Giles, and he clears his line. Tommy Smith handled the ball on the deck. Free kick given. Gyökeres tried to take it quickly to get Josh Eccles away, but Ryan Giles was switched on for Middlesbrough.
That was a great ball in behind, stretching it. I've got to see Tommy Smith initially got the interception, lost his footing under the pressure of Gyökeres as well there, then went and grabbed the ball, pulled it in. Referee was spot on. Free kick to Coventry, they took it quickly, and like I say, they just couldn't capitalise. Giles was back in position.
Brooke Norton-Cuffy for Coventry, near side to us the right, plays a 1-2 with Josh Eccles, still has possession, the Arsenal loanee. Eccles works the ball into the Middlesbrough box, but it's cleared away by Lenihan. Comes back to Matty Godden right inside the area, but he fouled his man, brought down Lenihan, and so Middlesbrough have a free kick inside their own 18-yard box. 10 minutes gone exactly in the second half, live on Talk Sport at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Hope you're enjoying this. It's 0-0, but for all that, it's fascinating between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, it's a silly one there from Matty Godden. Under pressure, keep the pressure on. He came through at Scunthorpe as a young lad, played a lot of football even then. But he's got the experience now that you don't give silly free kicks away like that there, especially when you're on top. You're in the 18-yard box. Take the ball down. You're 1v1. Just get it under control. You can't get really challenged.
I'm not sure whether Ben Wilson was going for goal there, the Coventry keeper from inside his own 6-yard box, but got it over halfway at least. Coventry win it back. Good ball from Hamer, trying to get Gyökeres away down the left-hand side. Will he keep it in play? He does. Down by the corner flag and forces McNair to put it out for a Coventry throw. 0-0.
That's excellent. Coventry winning those battles in the middle of the pitch. I've got to say the ball to Gyökeres was excellent.
Well, here's Gyökeres inside the area. Drive is blocked again by McNair. Brilliant defending. But it comes out to the halfway line. Encouragement for the home fans. McNally, diagonal ball. Bidwell puts it across the face of goal, and it's put away for another throw on that far side by Paddy McNair. Coventry starting to turn the screw a little at 0-0.
Yeah, they are. They're winning those second balls in the middle of the field, and then off the back of that, in that transition, it's that pass out to either flank. It has been good. Quality coming into the box. Bidwell there couldn't quite make the connection, but everything else is right. Time to run the ball, the weight of the pass. We had 3-4 Coventry shots in the middle as well. That's where he tried to put it. Just couldn't get the right connection from Bidwell.
Ends up being a Middlesbrough throw out on the far side. Coventry's first win of the season came against Middlesbrough on the 1st of October. Gyökeres was the goal scorer that day. Chris Wilder was still the Middlesbrough boss at that time. He was soon replaced by Michael Carrick when Middlesbrough were just above the drop zone. Oh, poor touch from McFadzean, and now Middlesbrough have it left-hand corner of the area. McGree tries to send it back across goal. Good block by McNally, but it's still with the Borough. And here's Hayden Hackney drifting into the area, couldn't find Cameron Archer, and Hamer tries to release Gyökeres. Good sliding challenge by Darrell Lenihan, puts it out for a throw. Brilliant defending by the former Blackburn man. Stopped Gyökeres, turning him and launching a Coventry counter-attack. 0-0.
It's a strong challenge here from Lenihan on Gyökeres as well. I've got to say, I think it's a free kick for Coventry because he's came through Gyökeres and taken the ball. But what I will say, Gyökeres has come down on top of him, and wow, he's taken a sore one to the face there as well. It's just basically he's broken the fall of Gyökeres there, and having 16.5 stone of Coventry player on top of you. He definitely felt. Look at this one in the monitor. You know what? I think it's in the challenge that he's made as well. I'm
still recovering from the dig in the ribs you just gave me. I'm going to go home bruised from this. Honestly, Chris Iwelumo sat alongside you in a commentary, kicks heads every ball. And how long have you been retired? 5 years?
9 years.
9 years. Well, I'm doing you a disservice there. 9 years. Still kicks every ball. Lenihan's just sitting up after getting some treatment. Just a reminder, more live sport today. The Women's FA Cup final straight after this on the Sunday session at Wembley. Chelsea against Manchester United. Not a seat to be had inside that stadium today. Brilliant for women's football. That's a 2:30 kick-off, Chelsea Manchester United. Tonight, 6:45, on TalkSport 2. Bradford and Carlisle get their League 2 playoff semi-final underway. Before that on TalkSport 2 we've got live Premiership Rugby in the semi-final of the Premiership. Sale Sharks against Leicester Tigers. Andrew McKenna, your commentator at 3 o'clock. When all that's done, Laura Woods and Ali McCoist reunited on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. to pick the bones out of everything that's happened this weekend. The playoffs, the Premier League, looking forward to what's to come with the Champions League, both semi-finals, second legs of the Champions League live on the TalkSport network this week, including Manchester City, Real Madrid, live on TalkSport Wednesday night. Back underway here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Bidwell will cross into the box. Gyökeres heads it down. It just didn't drop for Matt Godden. It was Hayden Hackney back there defending for Middlesbrough who got it clear. Vital for him to be there because it looked like it was going to drop for Matty Godden 6 yards out.
I've got to say it's outstanding from Coventry there. Gustavo Hamer in the middle of the pitch fires it to Doyle. Great pass to Bidwell. I think it's an excellent cross in. Gyökeres is moving in the box. I don't understand why he's trying to find Matty Godden. Why can't he go for goal? There was a lot of pace on the cross itself. You know what I mean? Zach Steffen's coming across. Pick your spot in the goal. Ask the question to the goalkeeper. Don't find your striking partner. Go for goal. Be the man.
That's the voice of Chris Willamo you can hear alongside me, Ian Dante here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. An hour gone in this first leg of the semi-final. Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. Just a quiet Sunday afternoon in the Midlands. Good grief, what a racket. It's a great racket. Norton Cuffy infield for Coventry as they try and build again. Liam Kelly out to Callum Doyle. Steps into the edge of the area, might go for goal here, lifted over the bar. Just saw the glory, Callum Doyle there as he got to the edge of the box and lifted a left-footed effort quite a way over the crossbar. Goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, Coventry really on top. You know, Liam Kelly, Hamer, Eccles, they're winning that battle and it's very, very evident there. Doyle there, he's driving forward. Fakes to take the shot with the left, brings it onto the right. He has to take the shot with the right foot there. He's trying to wrap the full body round, wasn't he? And then he just couldn't get any correct purchase on it. Even just lay it off. Just keep possession of the ball. I know you're on the 18-yard line. Ask the question of the goal. Get the shot away.
You're listening to Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0 in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final, live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Darrell Lenihan, the Middlesbrough captain, finds Riley McGree, middle of the Coventry half, driving towards the edge of the area. The Australian squares the ball infield to Hackney, out to the right-hand corner of the box, but a heavy touch from Jones allows Kelly to win it back, fires it up to Matt Godden on halfway. Heavy first touch from Godden, and that allowed Hackney to slide in and win it back.
Yeah, it's a great ball up to Matty Godden as well. He's just tried to control it. It's bounced off him. He's got to make him stick. In fairness to Matty Godden and Gyökeres, a lot closer together the second half, and that's causing all sorts of problems. So when Gyökeres comes and tries to run the channel, whatever ball, Matty Godden's there to pick up the seconds there. But when the ball comes up and they're as close together as that, the ball has to stick. Has to stick in.
Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. 62 minutes gone. Hackney back to the halfway line for Tommy Smith. Hackney again. What a season that young man has had. 20 years of age. Had a loan at Scunthorpe last year when they got relegated out of the Football League. 2 goals last month. He started to add goals to his game as well. That's a sign for a young 20-year-old in central midfield. Hamer in the Coventry midfield rolls the ball up to Gyökeres on halfway. Hamer again looks to clip the ball out to the right. Eccles is the man making the run. Ryan Giles passes the ball straight to Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Now Gustavo Hamer for Coventry. Goes for goal from the edge of the area with a daisy cutter that went a good 4 or 5 yards wide. We were right behind that and knew it was going right from the moment it left Hamer's boot. 0-0.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I've got to say, I think the ball from Gustavo Hamer to Eccles is a poor one. Hamer goes and chases, really put Giles under pressure. Giles has to do better than me. Terrible ball forward. Norton-Cuffy gets hold of it, gives it into Hamer. I don't mind him taking the shot on there. I think Gyökeres was trying to kind of pull away for that angled little kind of chip ball, but Gustavo Hamer was very central.
Middlesbrough are doing what Coventry were doing in the first half, giving the ball away, and here comes Brooke Norton-Cuffy down the right-hand side for the Sky Blues, but Boro win it back. Akpom, midway point of his own half, plays the ball out to Ryan Giles, and Boro look to get some more meaningful possession. Although there's still the general stats, it says that Middlesbrough 60-40 up in terms of possession, but it doesn't feel that way just at the moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that with the second half. I think Coventry have used the ball very well, taken the opportunity to get those passes in and keep possession rather than the first half where they're trying to go direct very, very quickly. They're being composed, and Gustavo Hamer and Liam Kelly seen a lot of the ball in the centre of the pitch.
Hackney sending the ball through the centre circle, but great sliding interception from Gustavo Hamer. Coventry trying to get on the front foot. Gyökeres, their top scorer, on this near touchline, wins the throw of Hackney.
He's on his own.
Yeah.
He's on his own, Ian. So when that ball comes forward, he's got 2-3 Middlesbrough players around him.
And you're looking on the bench, there's no Tyler Walker today, but Sean Maguire has been drafted back in amongst the Coventry substitutes. Josh Eccles has just sat down inside the Middlesbrough half. I thought he was labouring a couple of minutes ago, actually, Josh Eccles.
Yeah, well, he's looking down, so I don't know if it's around about the groin area that he's feeling something, but he's not right. You see him looking to Sky. I've got to say they were looking exhausted, but he's definitely saying that he's feeling something that maybe that he was carrying it and not having that mobility that he'd usually have. I thought when he chased Giles, he looked a little bit laboured in doing so hopefully nothing too serious.
Once again, the noise goes up to incredible levels as all the rest of the players come to the near side for a kind of impromptu drinks break with 25 minutes to go, whilst Eccles gets some treatment and is now helped to his feet. Adrian Durham's going to be hosting Monday night game night tomorrow evening on TalkSport. What a game! Leicester-Liverpool, and some of the very best build-up you will hear from 6 p.m. Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy will be your commentary team, and Josh Eccles can't continue, and Jamie Allen is going to come on to replace him. Over 100 appearances here since he joined from Burton Albion 4 years ago. He got a few goals in the Championship as well, Jamie Allen, 6 this season. It's a straight swap in central midfield. Allen on, Eccles off. Our first change of the game with 25 to go.
Yes, again, it's an experienced player coming on, like for like, legs in there, competent, can tackle, mobility, gets all over the pitch. Yes, keeping the pressure on, and I don't mind it at all.
Maybe it was a change that Mark Robbins might have had in mind anyway. Marcus Force is being prepared down beneath us for Middlesbrough's first change. We don't know who for just yet. Approaching the midway point of the second half. Middlesbrough in possession, but deep inside their own half. Tommy Smith has it in the right back position. Michael Carrick just puts his arm round the shoulder of Marcus Force and gives him one or two last words of encouragement before he sends the striker on. Marcus Force, who's not featured since a game against Hull in mid-April, joined from Brentford in the summer, and he's going to come on for Isaiah Jones. That's an interesting switch. What do you make of that?
Isaiah Jones, I think with the quality that he has, he's not seen a lot of the ball at this moment in time. Coventry are completely on top. Marcus Force, I guess that's more of his role. That right hand side, he floats inside. He's an option. He's direct, good quality. He's also a threat. Has more of the attributes, that physicality, aerial duels, all that plays a part. But they have to get back in this match, Middlesbrough, because at the minute they're second best.
Remember, this game, the second leg is live on TalkSport 2 on Wednesday evening. I'll be up at the Riverside with Adrian Clark alongside me for commentary of the second leg between these two. And don't forget, the other Championship semi-final second leg is Tuesday night. That's here on TalkSport. Luton against Sunderland. Sunderland 2-1 up from the first leg. Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton will be at Kenilworth Road for you. Now Coventry sending the ball right to left. Jake Bidwell does really well to keep it in play from a Luke McNally pass. Now Hamer drives it up to the edge of the area. Poor touch, allows Norton-Cuffy to get a piece of it, but then it's won back by Hayden Hackney, and Lenihan gives the ball back to his keeper Steffen, who clears from inside his own 6-yard box with Gyökeres bearing down on him. Ball clipped into the centre circle. Heavy touch from McGree for Middlesbrough. One back for Coventry by Callum Doyle. Now Gyökeres making tracks down the left-hand side. He won't reach that. He's quick, but he's not that quick. And it's a goal kick to Middlesbrough. And Gyökeres and McNair have a little word with one another as the ball's respotted for the goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, you know, that's a great battle. Gyökeres, McNair been at it all game. A few little words exchanged there. But like you say, he's mobile. He's enjoying this game. The second half, I thought first half he was poor. Simple as that. I'm sure there'll be a few harsh words said from the manager, and he'll know himself. But he's been better. An absolute outlet. Balls stick. He's been in positions where he's on his own, but again he keeps possession, he wins throw-ins, free kicks for Coventry, gets them up the pitch. And what I'm seeing from Coventry now is starting to have that confidence, play out from the back, using the likes of Allen and Hamer to bounce the ball off of, you know what I mean, and the quality has improved from back to front massively.
28,774 in attendance today. They can get over 30,000 in here, but they did restrict the number of Middlesbrough fans that could attend, and Middlesbrough have done tit for tat by saying, right, you can only have 2,000 for Wednesday. Free kick for Middlesbrough. Akpom is fouled by Kyle McFadzean, midway point of the half. You're listening to Talk Sport. In the playoffs, in the Championship, Coventry City's first ever Championship playoff campaign. Middlesbrough, who won one of the first ever playoffs back in 1988 when they beat, get this, Chelsea to get into the then first division. Yeah, Chelsea were a second division team once, kids. It's a long time ago. It's a lifetime ago. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Midway point of the Coventry half. Hackney can go right or left. In fact, he goes backwards to square to mow it. That allows Coventry to press up on the two midfielders, and kind of a wasted opportunity for Middlesbrough as they have to go back into their own half. But they've kept possession. Paddy McNair tucks the ball back to Stephen. McNair got Gyökeres closing him down. Well, they nearly gave the ball away in the worst possible position, and McNair and Stephen are having words with one another. 0-0.
Well, Zach Steffen's right. You know, this is the way that he wants to play. Paddy McNair's asking the ball. Now he knows when he receives it, he's going to have Coventry players on his heels there. He has to move the ball quicker. Took far too much time, and Zach Steffen's got every right to have very harsh words.
Liam Kelly for Coventry City as they work the ball themselves back to the halfway line. Kyle McFadzean, square ball for Callum Doyle. Doyle just steps inside force for a moment. Now McNally looks for Norton Cuffy, right wing, looking to take on Giles into the area right hand side to the byline, tries to pull it back. Good defending by Giles, prevented the corner, and Middlesbrough clear up to halfway. Archer tried to get away from Gustavo Hamer. Hamer stepped in front of him, bought the foul. Free kick in the centre circle for Coventry City. 18 minutes to go in this first leg. 0-0.
Well, it's better. Fantastic from Gustavo Hamer there. Just coming back. As soon as that ball goes in behind him, he's there. So just to let Cameron Hartzell know that he can't give too much of it away. Got his body between ball and man, and just invited that contact for the free kick there for Coventry.
Liam Kelly for Coventry lost the ball to the right hand corner of the box. He was looking for Norton Cuffy, but the ball just drifted over his head, and Middlesbrough will have a throw deep in their own half in their left back position.
I like Norton Cuffy. I think he brings a lot, flair. I need more in product from him. He's seeing a lot of the ball. Yeah, he's driving, he's direct. He's won a couple of corners when he's had the opportunity to put the ball in the box. He doesn't have to beat the man again. He doesn't even have to beat the man. If the man steps off him, which it has been on a couple of McHale's from Giles, put the ball in the box.
It says on my page he's 19. He doesn't look 19.
No, not at all. Not at all. End product, though, Ian. End product. That's what you want.
On loan from Arsenal, Brooke Norton Cuffy, and England under-20 international. He and Callum Doyle will go out to Argentina for the under-20 World Cup once their playoff commitments with Coventry are completed. Here's McGree for Middlesbrough, playing the ball into the area behind Akpom and Archer, and Gustavo Hamer was back in his own penalty area clearing his lines out to this near touchline for a Boro throw, 0-0.
Well, it's excellent movement again from Riley McGree. As he's running out, he's looking there. Both Archer and Akpom made the same run. One of them has to drop off and hang around that penalty spot, 18-yard line. But Gustavo Hamer defensively knows his responsibility. He gets in there, intercepts that. I've got to be critical. Can he keep possession of the ball rather than just put the ball out to play? No, he's there. Keep possession of the ball. Can he find a Norton Cuffy?
Akpom driving through the centre of the field up to the edge of the area. Tries to feed it through for McGree, but there are enough sky blue shirts back to win it back. McFadzean hits it long. Looking at Gyökeres, headed down by Tommy Smith, and Alex Mowat on the scene to help tidy up very nicely for Middlesbrough. Mowat's playing because Johnny Howson is still making his way back from a muscle injury. Be interesting to see whether Howson's involved on Wednesday night.
Yeah, but Mowat has experience of the playoffs as well with Barnsley and that, so fantastic technical player as well. Not had as much game time that he wants, but when asked upon, he knows the game. He knows what he has to do in that position.
Akpom back into the centre circle, and Middlesbrough have it with Paddy McNair. We're approaching the 75-minute mark on Talk Sport. It's still 0-0 in this first leg. Hayden Hackney and Alex Mowat, the two Middlesbrough defensive midfielders. Send the ball forward. Akpom is fouled. McFadzean tried to get his foot round to win the ball. Free kick given by Bobby Madley. Again, right in the centre of the commentary half. The last time Middlesbrough had a free kick here, they made a right Horlicks of it and ended up going back to their goalkeeper. What will they do here? 0-0.
Well, McFadzean, I think it's excellent defending. I think you have to go all the way when the likes of Akpom drops into that kind of 10 space, rather than passing it on and taking responsibility. So it's what it's all about. I think it is a free kick, very soft one. The referee was perfectly positioned, so I can't argue with it, but excellent defending from McFadzean. Akpom definitely knows that he's in a game.
So Alex Mowat and Hackney standing over this free kick. It is dead centre of the Coventry half of the field, with Middlesbrough attacking the north stand to our left in this second half. And Mowat, hand on hip, deciding where he wants to go, right or left. And again, he's gone backwards a square like they did before to Tommy Smith. Smith, though, might look to be a bit more progressive. Out to Marcus Force on the right-hand side. And again, it's not gone in the box. Middlesbrough being very conservative with these free kicks.
Yeah, but this is the way that Michael Carrick wants him to play. He wants them to get the ball down, and he wants them to get those touches and passes in around 18 yards, the attacking third. For me, Alex Mowat there has to go direct to either Marcus Force or this side Giles.
Well, I was waiting for something different compared to what we saw from that exact same position.
They're going backwards. They're allowing Coventry just to step up and put them under pressure, and look what happens. And they force the area, a big ball to play. That's why Giles and Force are so expansive. They're always an option.
The Coventry Building Society Arena packed, over 28,000 here, and so many replica shirts. And of course, it's shirt sleeve order today because it's lovely sunny weather, so those replica shirts are even more in evidence than you'd normally find. In slides McNair to stop Gyökeres getting away down the left-hand side, but it is a Coventry City throw level with the Middlesbrough penalty area. Gyökeres takes it quickly, gives it back to Callum Doyle, the centre-half, drifts in field. Little touch from Jamie Allen out to the left-hand side, and here's Gyökeres again. Left-hand corner of the area. Callum Doyle now looking to drift inside. Marcus Force leaves it for Gyökeres. First time cross, deflected up in the air by Middlesbrough. Back, and Akpom at the edge of his own penalty area, trying to turn away from trouble, and it's only half cleared onto the chest of Liam Kelly. Brings it down, stabs it forward to Jamie Allen. Allen looks for Norton Cuffy on this near side. Chris O'Wellerman just saying, get forward, get forward.
There's Norton Cuffy there, I think he's got an opportunity to run it at Giles.
Well, he might get a chance to cross it now as it's played out to him. Brilliant ball, brings it down at the byline, faced up by Giles. Left-footed cross is deflected up in the air, headed away, hooked back towards the penalty area by Bidwell, but it goes back out of play for a goal kick, 0-0.
Well, I'm looking at that, but the ball comes in from Norton Cuffy, and I don't mind it at all. It's took a little bit of a deflection. The referee's looking at McNair, he's looking at Gyökeres. The shot of Gyökeres is getting pulled by McNair. Okay, the ball's coming in, they're just trying to read the flight of the ball. You can't do it. It's just a silly one. The referee, if he gives a penalty, he's got the right to.
Gustavo Hamer wins the ball back for Coventry, tried to slide it into Jamie Allen. Brilliant interception, and now Middlesbrough can counter. Akpom brings the ball over halfway, and he's fouled McFadzean, and it's a free kick to Coventry and a warning for Chuba Akpom from Bobby Madley.
Well, I think it's a poor decision from Madley there, right? Because Gustavo Hamer fouls Akpom here, and he plays that. That's no advantage. He's got to bring that one back because it's basically Gustavo Hamer's trying to stop the break from Middlesbrough. Yes, it's a strong challenge from Akpom on McFadzean, but it should be a free kick to Middlesbrough in that little moment, that little phase before that.
Bobby Madley clearly thought that advantage had gone. I think that's what Chuba Akpom is saying to the referee, but it's fallen on deaf ears. Just stuck out his leg a bit far and caught McFadzean on his inset as he tried to release the ball. Anyway, it's a Coventry free kick. 11 minutes to go on TalkSport. Still 0-0. Akpom yellow carded for that challenge. And Coventry get the ball into the middle for a half out on the left-hand side with Liam Kelly. Infield for Hamer, trying a first-time ball around the corner. Let's quickly get to Wembley, the Women's FA Cup final. Chelsea against Manchester United. Joe Shannon's got the team news.
4 times winners Chelsea bring in Mielda, Fleming and Kerr, Carter, Cankovic and Harder drop out. One change for Manchester United playing their first major final. Captain Zelem returns, Bo Risa drops out. Wembley sold out, live on TalkSport from 2:30.
Thank you, Joe. Sunday session with Sam Matterface from 2 p.m. We'll also keep you updated with the 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Brentford, West Ham and Everton, Manchester City. Here's Gustavo Hamer from Coventry, going for goal, deflected away by Darren Hennon, but straight to Brooke Norton-Cuffy in the right wing position. He puts the ball back into the box, headed out by Lenihan. Hamer retrieves it for Coventry, might go for goal again, chips into the area looking for Godden, again Lenihan's there to clear it away for Middlesbrough. 3 times in a row the centre-half had to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, it's excellent defender, isn't it? I think great quality coming in from Gustavo Hamer there. Asked the question, the shot, the block from Lenihan as well. It was definitely goal was bound, wasn't it? It was a fantastic strike, but just keeping the pressure on. Winning the second ball, Gustavo Hamer has been the main man this second half for Coventry City.
Are you like this when you're watching telly with your missus? Like thumping when something decent happens? My left eye's in trouble here. Brooke Norton-Cuffy for Coventry, down the right-hand side. Takes on Ryan Giles, left-footed ball into the box. Gyökeres go for a header, won't drop for Bidwell. And Middlesbrough scramble it clear for a throw-in on halfway. 9 to go, 0-0. But there's belief around the Coventry Building Society arena.
Yeah, it looks like if there's going to be one team that's going to get the goal, it looks like it's going to be Coventry. Good quality coming in.
Bidwell down the left-hand side, goes down, wants a free kick. Ball stayed in play, and a very loose pass from Middlesbrough. Coventry have won it back. Callum Doyle, midway point of the Middlesbrough half, just to the left of centre, just slows the game down for a moment. Now Gustavo Hamer looks for an option, out to the left hand side. Poor pass, too firm, too straight, asking a lot of Jake Bidwell, and it ends up being a Middlesbrough goal kick. Matt Crooks is going to come on for Cameron Archer for a Middlesbrough change for these last 8 minutes or so, and there's a Middlesbrough player down inside his own penalty area. I think it's Tommy Smith. 0-0 the score.
When you're on top like that, Bidwell has to be bombing in behind. It's an excellent ball from Hamer. He's having that conversation with him. That's where he has to be. The way to pass was excellent. He's hiding behind it would have been Tommy Smith there. You can't see him. He's got to make that run in behind. Keep the pressure on.
So Matt Crooks, 7 goals in the league this season and his fair share of assists 2. He's on. Last goal against Bristol City in April. So 7.5 minutes to go in this first leg of the Championship semi-final between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Zach Steffen under pressure from Godden, finds Alex Mowat. Middlesbrough inside their own 18-yard box, trying to play their way out of danger. Giles actually does really well to get the ball clear. Crooks try and get involved for the first time this afternoon, and that forces McFadzean to go back to his keeper Ben Wilson. Wilson clears left-footed downfield, looking for Matt Godden. It's too high for him. Headed into the centre circle. Liam Kelly first on the scene for Coventry. Knocked down for Luke McNally. Kelly again. The captain plays the ball backwards to square to Callum Doyle. And now Jamie Allen takes over, having come on as a second half substitute for Josh Eccles. McNally, the centre half for Coventry, finds Hamer. Now Norton Cuffy, it's a heavy pass and caught on his heels a little bit, Norton Cuffy. And Ryan Giles, he's not able to let it drift over the dead ball line for a goal kick. And Middlesbrough still really happy to play the ball around the outside of their own penalty area. And Hamer is adjudged to have fouled Hackney. I didn't see much wrong with that, but Bobby Madley did. Free kick Middlesbrough, 0-0.
He's harrying after them, Hamer. Now I'm looking at this, I'm thinking there's not a lot in it, so I'm just going to have to wait in the monitor. But like you say, overplaying again in that defensive third, just inviting Coventry on. This is time. You've got Matt Crooks, you've just brought him on. You've got an outlet, he'll win the aerial duels, go direct, pick the ball up and play in the right areas of the pitch for Middlesbrough, surely.
Yeah, Crooks a very different centre forward to Cameron Archer. It's not so much about pace, it's about physicality and skill. Now Tommy Smith passes the ball straight out play to the invisible man on the far side, so Coventry have a throw, but we're into the last 6 minutes on TalkSport in this first leg. Second leg, remember, live on TalkSport 2 Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock kick-off. Myself and Adrian Clark will be on Teesside to find out which of these two make it to Wembley to play either Luton or Sunderland. They play Tuesday night. That's live on TalkSport at Kenilworth Road with Sunderland 2-1 up from the first leg. Now Coventry give the ball away temporarily, but Gyökeres wins it back inside left channel, just can't get it away from the challenge in midfield of Hayden Hackney. And now here's Ryan Giles winning a throw. They're stepping up, Coventry, trying to engage Middlesbrough as high up the pitch as they can, knowing that Middlesbrough like to play the ball about.
Walker is really in the mood. I've got to say he was direct. He took too much on there. He's just got to release the ball to Bidwell and then get himself in the box.
Am I right in thinking this is what you were expecting of Coventry at the start of the game?
From the start, they took a little bit of time to grow into the match. They weathered the storm the first 20-25 minutes from Middlesbrough. That back three was a back five, allowing Middlesbrough to have a lot of the ball, but straight away, boom, this is how they finished the first half. They've just grew and grew into the match. I think the midfield three winning second balls in that transition, the right pass, keeping the pressure on Middlesbrough.
Song play up Sky Blues being sung around the stadium as Coventry win the ball back. Hamer looks to hit the ball over the top for Gyökeres. He's writhing around Hamer inside his own half, claiming he was fouled by McGree. The referee did not give a free kick, Bobby Madley, but now he's going over to look at Hamer, who's planted his face in the turf and looks in some distress. It stays 0-0, 5 to go, and the train is being beckoned on to treat Gustavo Hamer.
Look, it is a free kick to Coventry. I've got to say that the referee was unsighted. He's followed the ball. You could see he was asking for information straight away. He's looking over at Gustavo Hamer, who's obviously in a lot of discomfort there. But I think Ryan McGree was just disappointed that he's been intercepted, had the challenge, he's reacted, he's went and harried and chased, and just came in a little bit late on Hamer there.
Live Rugby Union on TalkSport 2 this afternoon. Let me remind you that Leicester Tigers are at Sale Sharks. 3 o'clock kick-off in the semi-final for the right to face Saracens at Twickenham. Andrew McKenny, your commentator. And the Leicester football team, Leicester City, are in action tomorrow night against Liverpool. That's all part of Monday night game night on TalkSport. Adrian Durham will be at the King Power along with Sam Matterface and Danny Murphy. And Adrian, Sam and Danny in the first hour or so will reflect on all the talking points of the weekend, and then exclusive commentary of Leicester against Liverpool. Now you've just seen the stat on your screen about Victor Gyökeres and how well he's been dealt with by the Middlesbrough backline, Chris Iwelumo.
Yes, he has. Jules won 3, Jules lost 13. That's not pretty reading for Gyökeres there. I have to say he has been much better second half, as in ball, making sure it sticks, allowing Coventry to get up, even doing the likes of what Chubac Tom does very, very well. Comes deep, gets the ball, turns and drives direct at the Middlesbrough defence.
Hamer's just coming off to this near touchline, having had a bit of treatment, moving a little slowly, but he should be okay. He just caught his right ankle on the knee of McGree as he was clearing it. I'm not even sure it was particularly malicious challenge by Riley McGree.
The follow through wasn't it when he's made the pass.
Yeah. Anyway, Hamer waiting to come back on the field. It's temporarily a man advantage for Middlesbrough. crowd are waiting for Bobby Madley to allow Hamer back on, and now he can get back on as Middlesbrough have the ball inside their own half. Into the last 2 minutes of normal time. There'll be a fair chunk of added time, I imagine, for the several stoppages that we've had in this second period. Is either side going to take an advantage up to the Riverside for Wednesday night's second leg, live on TalkSport 2? It's currently goalless. Alex Mowat for Middlesbrough plays the ball through the centre circle. McGree teases it out to this left wing for Ryan Giles, and then McGree set upon by Hamer and concedes the throw. Gustavo Hamer, and McGree going to take his time over getting it back into play. Bradford against Carlisle, live on TalkSport 2 tonight, 7 o'clock. That'll be a good game. Mark Hughes against Paul Simpson at Valley Parade. Every playoff game, semi-finals and final, live across the TalkSport network. And this one going to leave it very much in the balance ahead of the second leg, but here comes Jamie Allen for Coventry, but Matt Crooks is back doing his defensive duties. Just got a nudge from Jamie Allen and wins a free kick, and Gustavo Hamer thought it had been taken and tried to fire the ball goalwards, but it hadn't been taken.
Yeah, it's quality from Matt Crooks. You have to come on. If he doesn't do that, Jamie Allen, close control, got away from Hackney there, but Matt Crooks comes back and does his duty defensively.
4 minutes of minimum stoppage time that we're into now at the end of this first leg. 4 minutes with the game at 0-0, and Coventry have a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And Ben Wilson, in no great hurry, would seem to retrieve it and spot it down. Maybe, just maybe, Chris Owellamo, both managers will take this result back to Teesside.
Well, I think Michael Carrick will be the happier of both managers. I think Robbins will know understand. I think they've a fantastic account of themselves, but they've really dominated this second half. I think clear-cut chances, that's what's been lacking. I think getting into that attacking third, 18-yard box entries as well, ticked all of those boxes, but shots on target, that's where they've been lacking.
Hamer fires the ball forward, maybe a late chance for Coventry. Gyökeres away down the left-hand side, faced up by Lenihan, gets past him into the area, rolls it back to Hamer at the edge of the D, plays it into the box and it ricochets off a Middlesbrough boot, and Zach Steffen can pick it up and prevent it going out for a corner. 0-0 it stays.
I think Gyökeres again there, excellent mobility. As soon as he gets faced up, as soon as he comes in, I think, and gets away from Paddington there, I know it's a tight angle, get a shot away. There's a lot of bodies that's got to go through. It could cause all sorts of problems, little deflection, little nick, just changes the direction for Zach Steffen there. And then it's just about players like Matty Godden, even Norton Truffy who's coming into the back post area, that's just anticipating the ball could just bounce nicely for them there. Not enough shots on target.
Chris Owellamo alongside me, Ian Danter. A minute and a half of the minimum stoppage time has gone. Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. Destined to be all square going back up to the northeast, unless there's time for somebody to snatch it. Here's Alex Mowat from Middlesbrough on the halfway line, squares it left for Hayden Hackney. Good ball forward for McGree. McGree driving towards the area, faced up by Kelly. Giles calling for it on this near side, level with the box, gives it back to McGree. He's run down the left-hand side. Giles again goes for the dead ball line and wins a late corner for Middlesbrough at the north stand end. Can they force the issue from the set piece? 0-0.
Excellent from Middlesbrough. Ryan McGree, Giles, linking up, knowing exactly what the other strength is. Giles there, I thought a cross was coming in, it was blocked very, very well, marshalled all the way into the 18-yard box there, and like you say, corner kick, but fantastic little bit of play down this left-hand side.
Paddy McNair nearing 200 appearances for Boro since he moved from Sunderland back in 2018, former Manchester United defender. He's got the ball spotted down on this near side, and the referee wants to check that it's touching at least some part of the quadrant, and he says, come and check it. Paddy McNair says, come and have a look, ref, nothing wrong with that. And so Bobby Madley goes across to check, and he says move it back after all that. Oh good, what a load of nonsense. McNair will finally have the corner. This could be the last action of the game at 0-0. McNair, deep corners to the far post, and Wilson can let it go all the way behind for a goal kick. After all that, goal kick 0-0.
Well, it's concentration levels, isn't it, defensively for Coventry there when that nonsense is going on at the corner flag. You're thinking, well, you've got to stay switched on. Paddy McNair, it's a pure corner in the end. That centimetre must have made all the difference.
Bobby Mabbey looks at his watch. The 4 minutes have elapsed. It's now down to the referee, and he allows the goal kick to be taken by Ben Wilson. Flicked on, and there goes the full-time whistle that ends this first leg. All square going to Teesside for the second leg on Wednesday evening. Coventry and Middlesbrough can't be separated after a full-blooded encounter here in the Midlands. The best chance of the game did come in the first half, where Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, made an outstanding save to deny Middlesbrough's top scorer Chuba Akpom when played inside the area. But no quarter asked or given from either set of players. But maybe Michael Carrick slightly the happier that he's taking his team back up, having not conceded, even though they haven't found the net themselves. Full time with 90 minutes, maybe more, to come at the Riverside on Wednesday night. Live on TalkSport 2, it is Coventry City 0, Middlesbrough 0.
As Michael Carrick in white tight top, black trousers, instructs all of the staff and the subs to go over to the Middlesbrough fans away to our right to applaud them. The Borough fans are applauding the players as well. They're all going over en masse to be as one Middlesbrough, and I guess, Chris Iwelumo, Borough will be the happier of the two sides.
Oh, 100%. I think come here, we touched on it a little bit earlier about away form. Coventry were dominant second half. I mean, relentless. Had to defend well. Middlesbrough got a little bit fortunate on a few occasions. We touched on it. I think Coventry would of course, in my opinion, would have to take a lead to protect the Riverside. So it's going to be game on again. But from what I've seen, they got the tactics a little bit wrong the way they started, grew into the match, but were completely dominant, and they'll have complete belief, Coventry, that they can go to the Riverside and get the right result.
Here's the mystery though. Gyökeres 21 goals, Akpom 28. These are top of the scoring charts in the Championship. So how has this ended 0-0?
Talk to me.
Amazing.
Not taking opportunity. Ben Wilson's got a big. The save was outstanding.
First half.
Akpom did everything right. Knew exactly where the goal was. Tried to get under it. Ben Wilson made himself big. Got a little touch, and that's it. But no matter where the contact is, that was enough to put it onto the crossbar. Gyökeres, for me, I think, sees a lot of the ball in the channels. Does a lot of that hard graft.
You can see why he's got 10 assists as well as the goals.
Exactly. But for me, he has to release it to the likes of Norton Cuffey, to Bidwell, get himself in the danger area beyond the end of that quality that's coming in. And then, you know what, when you do get away from that centre back, just pull the trigger. You don't have to have a clear sight of goal to get some goals. We've seen some wonderful goals this campaign throughout the season. You know what? Take the opportunity on to get the shot away.
Well, the Coventry players are doing a lap of honour around the pitch, and this is the last home game here, of course, this season. And if the atmosphere is anything like this going into next season, whatever division they're in, I think the players will be happy. The fans have been rewarded with a playoff campaign at the end of a very, very good season for Mark Robbins and his players, and the players are repaying that support that the fans have given. A lot of fans staying behind to applaud them, but the season isn't over. So what's going to happen in the second leg?
To be fair, I think both teams have that threat. It's about who manages it. Now, Coventry, are they going to be able to play to the same levels when Middlesbrough have the backing from the fans? Because this place was outstanding. The fans done their bit today.
And the Riverside can be like that with Borough
fans. Yes, they can.
Absolutely.
Yes, they can. When they're as dominant, when they're on the ball. So Mark Robbins and the boys will say, you know what, we've got to upset that. We've got to try and have that be a negative impact for the players, because when they're not having it on the way, the boos and the heckles, they all start, and the players have got to be big enough to be able to control that. For me, I think Middlesbrough have too much. I think at home, especially the way that they've dominated, scored goals at the Riverside, I think they'll have too much for Coventry. But go there, get that early goal, defend for your lives, have a little bit of luck on the night. Who knows?
Well, listen, Chris, enjoyed your company. Me and Dance are off to the physio room to get patched up. Thank you very much. Game night tomorrow night. TalkSport's the only place for exclusive commentary of a massive Premier League game, both ends. Leicester against Liverpool. Join me at the King Power at 6. Live on TalkSport 2. The playoffs are delivering yet again tonight. Bradford Carlisle in League 2 this evening on TalkSport 2 from 6:45. Here at Coventry, we had atmosphere, we had action, we had attacking, but we didn't have goals. The Championship's 2 top goal scorers were on the pitch today, but they were kept quiet. They've got a date night on Wednesday, TalkSport 2 this time, where the second leg will start goalless. To Wembley next with Sam Matterface hosting the Sunday session for the best way of keeping across all the football on TalkSport.
Paramount Plus is a mountain of entertainment for only $6.99 a month. Stream new original series like Fever Pitch, The Battle for the Premier League.
It's the end of English football as we know it.
And Fatal Attraction.
I'm not going to be ignored, Dan.
Watch the latest seasons, plus every episode ever of South Park. Okay. And X on the Beach UK.
Oh my God.
You can cancel anytime and we're completely ad-free. Except for this one. Blockbusters, originals and iconic shows, all on Paramount Plus. Join now. T's and C's apply. Subscription required and 18+. Auto renews at $6.99 per month unless cancelled. Price subject to change.
EFL Live on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18+, please drink responsibly. We're made by our mates. 18+, please drink responsibly.
This football season, get a hand from Betfair's popular Bet Builder and easily add our fan favourite football selections to your bet slip in just one tap. And you can get a completely free £2 Bet Builder on any Premier League game this weekend. Now that's handy. Betfair.
Max 1 per customer. Minimum combined odds of 1.5. Opt-in required. T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
At Post Office, we understand the nation needs a holiday.
Expect more rail strikes.
Storm warning with high winds.
So, to help you escape, here's a few moments of holiday bliss. Oh, lovely. Need a holiday? We can help with that. From travel insurance and foreign currency to passports and travel money cards. Search Post Office Travel or visit your local branch. Travel money card issued by First Rate Exchange Services Limited pursuant to licence by MasterCard International.
Right now at Morrison's, you can get 5p off every litre of fuel when you spend £35 or more in-store or online until Sunday 21st of May. So while you're filling up your trolley, you can fill up your car for less too. Coupon required, terms, conditions and exclusions apply. See in-store or online for details. Redeemed by 29th of May.
So gambling to me was like monsoon. The first rain. The first bet. It brings comfort and joy, but then is a flood. It's not a nice feeling. You think you are in control, but you're not. You need that help.
If you're worried about how gambling makes you feel, we can help. Search Gamble Aware for advice, tools and support.
The BrewDog Gold Can is back. Find one and win $5,000 cash. And this time we're staying on the right side of advertising standards and all those angry people online. Find the gold-plated can. That's gold-plated, not solid gold. Specifically in the multi-packs that are part of this promotion, and you'll win £5,000 cash. It's not a literal bag of change, but it's £5,000 and it will be yours, as will the can. That I repeat is not solid gold, but gold-plated. I think underneath it's brass or something, but don't quote me on that. Find the gold can, gold-plated, sorry. Find one of those and win $5,000, okay? Terms and conditions apply.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. On your mobile and on your smart speaker. Talk Sport.
Good afternoon, this is Sam Matterface at Wembley. Around the grounds from the Premier League Sunday Style coming up, and live coverage from the Women's FA Cup final in front of a sellout crowd on the way very shortly after the latest news and sport. Here's Mark Tyler.
Thanks, Sam. Ukraine's president says an upcoming counter-offensive will focus on liberating areas within his borders, not attacking Russian territory. Last night, the hometown of Ukraine's Eurovision entrance was hit just before the act went on stage. Retired Air Vice Marshal Sean Bell doesn't think it was an accident.
In Ternopil, it's the home of Tverch, which is the Eurovision Song Contest contestant from Ukraine. 2 attacks there last night. The first one happened just before the act went on stage. Now, I'm not a believer in coincidences, so it's civilian targeting.
The head of the main nursing union admits she may have underestimated the sheer determination of members in their pay row with ministers. Pat Cullen wants the Health Secretary to restart negotiations, and she's told him to produce a double-digit rise. The Department of Health insists the last pay offer for nurses was final and there's no more money available. It's reported Labour is considering giving voting rights to settled migrants as well as 16 and 17-year-olds. Sir Keir Starmer's understood to be open to possible changes and believes you should get a say if you work hard and contribute to the country. Several deaths have been reported after heavy rain and strong winds hit the Bay of Bengal. Cyclone Mocha has brought winds of up to 130 miles per hour to Bangladesh and Myanmar. It's been revealed Rio Ferdinand helped detain a man who tried to break into his home on Thursday night. CCTV caught the man trying to gain entry to the back door of his home before staying in the garden overnight. Ferdinand confronted him the following morning before the police came. He wasn't arrested.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. With over 600 centres across the UK, most of which open 7 days a week, we're always there when you need us. QuickFit. Drive away happy every time.
Warm with sunny spells across the country. The odd shower will develop in places. A band of rain will hit Scotland, the north of England and Wales later.
Here.
Oh, and he's found the net! What a run and what a goal!
There.
He hits it first time. What a volley, what a goal!
On Sundays.
Oh, what a goal!
We are everywhere. On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. The Sunday Session with Sam Matterface on TalkSport.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday Session, your fastest point of call for all the top sporting events taking place on this glorious afternoon at the end of a long, hard and gruelling season. Today, all of that hard work will get rewarded. Well, for one team anyway, because I'm at Wembley for the Women's FA Cup final between Chelsea and Manchester United, alongside your match commentator. Good afternoon to Joe Shannon.
The two best sides in England this season, but Chelsea have the trophy-winning pedigree. Emma Hayes' team are hoping to lift the FA Cup for a fifth time, while Manchester United are in their first major final. We're expecting a world record crowd for a women's domestic game. Wembley is sold out today.
We will be providing you with extended coverage from today's final at Wembley. Meanwhile, there are three massive Premier League games taking place today as well, the first of which sees Everton host title-chasing Manchester City, and they're just underway in front of Matt Jones.
3 minutes on the clock here. It's still Everton 0, Manchester City 0, but this game has already settled into a pattern where Man City are having plenty of the ball and Everton are defending deep. Will they be able to break through though? We'll find out alongside Mickey Gray, but at the moment, Everton 0, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, the former England left-back and our Manchester correspondent Mickey Gray is there today for us as well. We'll be speaking to him very shortly. Later, Arsenal will get their chance to apply pressure on City when they host Brighton in front of TalkSport's Ollie Klink.
Yeah, Arsenal still sniffing around in second, Sam, just 2 points behind City as it stands, and a win today could take them back top if results go their way. Meanwhile, Brighton are looking to bounce back from their battering by Everton. 3 points for the Seagulls today, though, would see them soar to sixth. Big game for both here at the Emirates. It's Arsenal against Brighton. Kickoff is at 4:30.
All big games at this stage of the season. Another Premier League game which is underway comes at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Brentford hosting West Ham, and they've made a lot of changes here in Abrahams.
Yeah, 5 gone, Brentford 0, West Ham 0. 9 changes for West Ham. Saïd Benrahma among those on the bench, so too Declan Rice. No Ivan Toney for Brentford, who's got a hamstring injury. Bright sunshine here, Brentford 0, West Ham 0.
Just before us on TalkSport, you would have heard the Coventry and Middlesbrough game. They played out a goalless draw in the second Championship playoff semi-final. The return leg at the Riverside will take place on Wednesday night. That's exclusively live on TalkSport 2. How on earth, with Akpom and with Gyökeres in those two teams, was there no goals in that encounter? Elsewhere, later on tonight on TalkSport 2, the playoffs continue with the League 2 semi-final action. 7 o'clock, Bradford host Carlisle, whilst at 3 o'clock you can hear Sale Sharks versus Leicester Tigers in their Gallagher Premiership semi-final. This is the Sunday Session, and you're listening to TalkSport. You are listening to the Women's FA Cup final live on TalkSport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Vitality Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. What a sight it is as well. The famous Wembley Arch shining in the sun, beautiful blue sky, and a sellout crowd promised. It was amazing coming down on the train from Manchester today with thousands of families, a horde of Manchester United supporters. It felt like a carnival walking up Wembley Way as they mixed with the blue of Chelsea. The atmosphere already banging in here. We've had top DJs on the decks. Leanne knows who they are. I haven't got a clue, but she's down with it all. To my left, the Manchester United fans waving their flags. Chelsea supporters very much used to the occasion here in their numbers. And the 4 times winner of the Women's FA Cup, Leanne Sanderson, is with us. Hello.
Hello, Sam.
What a game this could be.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Myself and Joe were just talking about the fact that, you've still got 25 minutes to kick off, and there's already about 40,000 in the stadium. We've seen a lot of WSL players from Tottenham in here as well, and I just saw Alessia Russo's dad, Mario, so they're already in here and the atmosphere's certainly building.
Oh, we haven't seen Mario since we were in Box Park with him.
I know, that must be maybe a good omen. Maybe it could be a good omen for Manchester United today.
Absolutely. Joe Shannon will be commentating for us this afternoon as well. Mickey Gray's up at Goodison Park watching the game between Everton and Manchester City. You managed to brave the carnival-like atmosphere in Liverpool to get through to Goodison Park, did you? Did you pop in on Eurovision last night?
I got through without singing any songs, Sam, so I'm okay. But good afternoon to you anyway. But yeah, this stadium, they're certainly singing in this stadium. It's been a great start to the game, I have to tell you.
Well, let's just talk to me about the context of the game before we go into an update from Matt Jones. Because Everton, obviously, I think a couple of weeks ago were completely written off. But all of a sudden, that victory down at Brighton on Monday seems to have changed the whole narrative.
Well, without a doubt, Sam. I mean, nobody expected that result. I mean, it came from nowhere. It was just a freak result, but a brilliant performance from Everton. And obviously, they're trying to build on that, and they need their 12th man today. City, we know they're going to have a lot of possession in this game today. Of course they are, but Everton are going to try and catch them on the break. And you know what this stadium's like, Sam. You've been here many times. If they can get themselves in front, the place will erupt.
Yeah, and that's the tactic that they used against Brighton, wasn't it? Sitting, soaking, and then springing those attacks, which were led by what was a fantastic front line of McNeil and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. McNeil's come to the fore in recent weeks. Dominic Calvert-Lewin being fit makes a massive difference for them, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I mean, he's the focal point, isn't he? The energy levels. But he looks fit now, Sam, as well. I think when he first came back into the side, it kind of bedded him a little bit with Sean Dyche, but today he looks really bright. He looks sharp and certainly looks up for it.
Absolutely. OK, let's get to Matt Jones, who's watching the game for us alongside you. And a couple of early opportunities for both teams and some scrappy Manchester City defending, Matt.
Absolutely, it is still 0-0, but a clearance by Edison was absolutely appalling and nearly let Everton in. Decore couldn't quite capitalise. Decore also had a chance a few moments earlier to put in Calvert-Lewin, but it was just a little bit too much on his ball, and that one ran out of play. For Manchester City, they're clearly trying to attack down that right-hand flank where Mason Holgate is playing as left-back today due to injuries to the likes of Mikalenko, and he's already affected one foul on Mahrez, who then whipped a free kick into the box, which was easily cleared. But at the moment, scrappy, as you say, not too many clear-cut chances, but both teams certainly showing some interest in attacking. It does, though, remain after 8 minutes, Everton 0, Manchester City 0.
It'll be fascinating to see how Manchester City apply themselves in this game, bearing in mind they've got that huge second leg of the Champions League semi-final on Wednesday night, which is live on TalkSport. Let's get to the G-Check Community Stadium. Brentford looking to keep up their good record against another side that have European distractions, and much changed West Ham. Here's Ian Abrahams.
And we played nearly 10 minutes. Brentford 0, West Ham 0. Best chance so far was to Brentford. Ball in from the left-hand side, and Mikael Damsgaard around 6 yards out. Couldn't beat Fabianski in the West Ham goal. It went narrowly wide. West Ham giving a start today to Maxwell Cornet as part of this much changed team. Their best ever saw Souček go down the right hand side. His cross though was woefully disappointing. 10 minutes gone. It's Brentford 0, West Ham 0.
Ian, West Ham have taken just 12 points from a possible 51 on the road this season. Why have they been so bad away from home?
I think it's just been, in terms of away from home, they like to counter-attack, and I think quite a lot of teams have worked that out, and therefore to try and give them a lot of the ball. And I just think this year West Ham's sole focus has been pretty much on Europe, and they've got this big game obviously coming up on Thursday now, so I wouldn't expect them to come here today and particularly expect to get a result, but they did win here in the FA Cup, so perhaps I'll be wrong. In general, I just think they've been stronger at the London Stadium because they've had a lot of home support behind them, and they've been able to just raise their game in front of that home support.
Well, let's hope that they are much better away from home on Thursday night when they take on RZ just outside Amsterdam. Live coverage on TalkSport 2 of that particular game. They're leading by 2-1 from the first leg. A performance which wasn't great, got to be honest with you. Watching that game, I felt as if West Ham maybe let an opportunity slip, because once they got themselves in front, they probably could have taken it further away from the Dutch team. They didn't. As a result, it's still tight, and we'll be bringing it to you live on Thursday night. We've got such a massive week of live football, because also on Thursday night I'll be at Brighton's next game, which is away at Newcastle United, Thursday evening, 7:30 kickoff. That one slightly earlier. That's live on Talk Sport. The red carpet being rolled out here at Wembley, the sprinklers still on, the big red flags behind the goal away to our left, still waving in the early summer sunshine. We're getting ready for the formalities at Wembley ahead of the Women's FA Cup final. It's been played here since 2015, but for the first time today we're going to have 90,000 people inside this stadium. Away to our right hand side there's a big banner which is along the cat's cradles in front of the first row of the Chelsea fans, which says, "In Emma we trust." Why wouldn't you? She's won the last 2 FA Cup finals. The Chelsea men apparently are ready to announce Mauricio Pochettino. You might have heard that first on the Game Day podcast a couple of weeks ago. Their new manager is going to agree the makeup of his backroom staff in the next 20